Provo, Utah. This is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Caleb Schweiss. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Oh, you hear that, guys?
Hear what?
Oh, you hear that beautiful, beautiful sound of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am Joe.
I am Caleb.
And today we're going to be talking about the third expansion for Final Fantasy XI, Treasures of Aht Urghan,
Yes.
which I have been mispronouncing this entire time and will probably continue to mispronounce.
What was it, like Aht Urghan or something? No,
Aht
it wasn't that.
Urghan is what I was calling it.
Oh, yeah, there was a T at the end.
Yeah, I was adding some extra T's.
Nice.
Yeah, I just want more T's.
Silencing the N, too. That's interesting. It's a strange language. Yeah, we've been very busy boys lately. We actually finished this one like a week ago.
We finished this in record time. I would like to know how many other people have finished it faster than us in terms of amount of days played.
Yeah.
We beat Treasures of Aht Urghan, which was told to be, at least from Minzara, he said it was a long expansion.
Yeah, I think Roxo said it was pretty long, too.
Yeah, and we beat it in 4 days.
Yeah, it was a long 4 days. Now, let's not make it sound like it was nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't like
hours.
like 1 hour a day or anything like that. It was a solid 4 days.
Right.
But 4 days nonetheless.
And it would have been longer if they wouldn't have removed many of the Japanese, or all, as far as we can tell, of the Japanese midnight requirements for quests. For a while, they had these things in there that would, it's like, wait until the next Japanese midnight. And, of course, Japan is, like, way, way off from where we are.
Yeah, we would have to wake up at, like, 6 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, I think it rolls over at 9.
9 in the morning.
Yeah, which, kind of a pain in the ass if we're playing on weekdays.
Not convenient, no.
Yeah, it's not like, we can stay up till midnight and then we can hit this next part up. Yes. It's, oh, shit, I have to somehow play it an hour into my work.
Yeah, well, thank God, and I think it was actually a very recent patch, someone had pointed out. A very recent patch took the Treasures of Aht Urghan, and instead of making them Japanese midnight waits, they made them Vana'diel day waits, which...
Right.
I think there's 24 hours in a Vana'diel day, and every 24 hour, or every hour is 2.5 minutes. So, I mean, it's still a long time. It's like an hour.
Yeah,
for an entire Vana'diel day. But, yeah, so sometimes we had like a 40-minute wait or something like that. But still, those, I think, 5 brick walls that we could have run into were gone.
Yeah.
So
and we didn't know that at first. Krental and I found out on like the second or third one that we could just wait till the next Vana'diel day, and then it made it even that much better. So we could have even done it quicker, probably by maybe a day. So this one's a pushover.
Yeah. So real quick, let's do some plugs, and then we'll talk about where we are in the game. You can find us if you've never listened to us before or whatever. We go through each of the Final Fantasy games in a main series to sequels to prequels to spin-off order. And we bring out new episodes every week. You can find us at youtube.com/ultimatefinalfantasy. You can find us at facebook.com/ultimatefinalfantasy. You can follow us playing the games at twitch.tv/ultimatefinalfantasy. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com. Just search Ultima Final Fantasy, and $1 a month will give you the episodes as soon as we're done mixing them. In fact, we have a Patreon episode, Schweiss, coming out next week.
We do,
with our dear friend Troy.
Yes.
So get excited for that. That one's a really good episode. You can also, if you want, you can tweet me at Joseph DeGolier.
Tweet me and sort of the show at UFF Podcast.
And, of course, everything else can be found at ultimatefinalfantasy.com. Please join the forums as well. There's a lot of good Final Fantasy discussions going on there, and you can ask us questions, and we'll answer them on the show.
It's true. And also, check out our other show, Newt Clan Gaming. It's just a general gaming show. With Joe and I and a couple of our other buddies, and it's great. It's like the most fun I have with podcasts, probably.
All right, Schweiss, where are we currently in Final Fantasy XI?
Oh, man, I think I'm a couple missions behind everybody else. You guys kept playing for a little bit. I think we're like third of the way through Wings of the Goddess, maybe a quarter.
Yeah, about a quarter, I think.
And right now, I'm just trying to get my limit break quest taken care of. And I failed the first time because I followed Credital's directives. He was like, "Oh, hey, you need probably about 2 of these, and you could probably take them." And I died. He still had like a third of his health.
Rare Reptiles, old Rare Reptiles.
Yeah, to get these Rare Reptiles, you have to get a seasoning stone, a chip of something.
You get a fossilized fang and a fossilized
chip,
bone.
Or bone, yeah. You have to combine all 3 of those, and you get 1 Rare Reptile, and it stuns a guy who you're supposed to fight for the limit break increase. It stuns him for 90 seconds, and this guy is monstrous. And I stunned him twice, and I still couldn't kill him, so I am going to have to go back and farm some more of those items out. But Joe tells me that apparently the Login Moogle has the seasoning stone.
Greeter Moogle. This is what I found out. So I myself this week, I decided, we stopped where we were stopping at Wings of the Goddess. Some people had scheduling conflicts, so some people couldn't show up, and it was like, oh, let's just work on our characters for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
And so what I did was for the last 3 fucking solid days, last 72 hours, notice if you see me on the Twitch stream, my eyes are bloodshot as fuck right now. And it's not because of anything awesome.
Yeah, he's not blitzed.
It's from looking at a computer screen all fucking day. So 3 days ago, I decided, look, these Wings of the Goddess missions are getting harder. We had a boss fight where we actually all had to come together and strategize on, which we haven't had to do in a while.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so Wings of the Goddess is going to get difficult near the end, and then Seekers of Adulin is going to be high-level shit. So I need to be, in order to beat this game, I need to be at a higher level than I am currently. And I was in the upper 70s with my Red Mage, and my secondary class, which your secondary class, it's like 14. It can go up to the halfway mark, basically. Yeah. My secondary class was only to level 10. And I said, okay, I'm going to really go for this shit. So I have been leveling solidly. I started off with the crabs in Mount Xylem, and then I moved on to the crabs in Dangravwadi and got all those seasoning stone drops, which unfortunately you leveled up before you were trying to get those drops. So it's more frustrating for you that you didn't get those drops yet, but luckily they're for sale now, and I found that out yesterday. At some point they did a patch, and they're like, let's make these items easier, and they're actually tradable as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I found that all out yesterday when I got that shit. When I got the remainder of that shit.
Yeah.
What I found out also is that there's this tree in a place that Credital didn't know about, and that Baydrum didn't know about, or at least didn't remember from when he leveled up to 99. And these guys give XP like fucking crazy. It's like called the Boydum tree or whatever.
Yeah.
And they drop all 3 of the items needed for the limit break. So we should have been leveling up in that area the whole time, but they are very difficult dudes.
Yeah.
Since they're like level 104 or something like that. So I was going through, I was getting those drops, and then yesterday I got my Red Mage to 95, I got my Black Mage to 50, I had fucking 7 Seasoning Stones extra that I used for Rare Reptiles. I only needed 3 of them.
Wait, so you have extra Rare Reptiles?
Yes, I do. I was going to trade them to you yesterday, but you decided to go to sleep.
Yeah. How many do you have?
I have 4.
Oh my god, I could beat it.
I have 4 Rare Reptiles, and by the way, I went back down to that tree after I beat that limit break, and leveled up to 99, and I got like 6 more Seasoning Stones while I was down.
God! Dude, the drop in Dangravwadi is sick for those fuckers.
I know.
God.
So and then yesterday, Credital like guided me around to get the best armor and the best weapons that I could currently afford with the Records of Eminence points. My guy, he doesn't have his spells up all the way. I haven't bought spells since like level 50.
Yeah.
Except for Stone 3 I bought for the boss fight so I could do more damage. All I need are like my spells, and I'm gonna be a fucking beast. Yeah. I'm already doing like those Mandragoras that used to take like fucking 10 minutes to kill, I kill in like 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're doing way more damage than I am now, probably.
Yeah, I am. I'm a god. I've been the Gimp part, like the Gimp member of this fucking crew this entire time.
Yeah.
Mostly because I'm going to Goal Your Core, as many people have named it. And so I've just been doing the bare minimum to get by, but I knew that, like, there's a point where this game's going to get fucking ridiculous, probably in Seekers of Adulan, and I need to be ready. I need to have my character with my level 117 armor, and I need to be able to be a useful member of the party instead of the one guy that might as well be a kind of mid-level trust.
Yeah.
So that was important to me, but this week, guys, just for you, just for the Ultima Final Fantasy audience out there, this week, I have been playing 11 fucking solidly. I think I have over 72 hours of game time just from this week.
Wow.
So, I feel like a skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all life has been drained from me because of this game.
Well, and it's just mindless grinding, too. It's not like we're doing quests or anything.
Yeah. Oh, and thank God, by the way. So the first day out of these 3 days of sickness. Now, we played all days, but 3 days, especially me leveling. After the first day, I decided, you know what, I'm actually going to try, as Bandram said, to use the PS4 controller as the controller for Final Fantasy XI. I've been using the mouse and keyboard, mostly keyboard for this game, because the mouse sometimes gets in the way, but then sometimes you need to use the mouse if you have problems targeting. I plugged in the PS4. It was a plug-and-play controller, which I had never gotten a joystick to fucking work on my computer before, and suddenly the PS4 is like, oh, I recognize the software drivers for the PS4 for some fucking reason. It's beautiful, right? And the PS4 just plugged in, and then I went into the FF11 configure screen, and then I just put default controls, and it plays like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
It plays like FF12 now. It's like the control scheme is made worse by the keyboard. It's so much more fluid, and it's so much better with the controller. On top of that, I have like a 9-foot fucking USB cord for my PS4 controller. Mm-hmm. So when I'm mindlessly grinding, I can watch fucking movies in my room. I can actually like sit back, watch a movie, and just kind of like look over and check and see if my character is about to die or something like that. It's beautiful. I enjoyed the grind for the last 2 days because I watched fucking 5 movies while I was grinding.
Damn.
So, FF11 went into fucking high gear. I think I would have given FF11 a higher score or a higher ranking had I had the controller experience this entire time. It's way less clunky of a game with it.
Yeah, people have been telling us that for a while. We just haven't tried it.
I regret ever saying no. Like, I wish that Bandram, who's playing with us on FF11, I wish that he was hammering me to get the controller. Like, I wish that he got so annoying with, like, guys, you need to have a PS4 controller for this game.
Yeah.
I really wish that he had done that, or that I had just listened to him. I didn't listen to him, and I regret it fully. I mean, I have days of my life now spent in-game. I could have been playing it with a controller.
Yeah, that's true.
And the game would have been 30% better. It's beautiful, dude. It is beautiful. I cannot stress this enough. If you're playing Final Fantasy XI, or if you're gonna play Final Fantasy XI, go get yourself a PS4 controller and plug it in.
Yeah.
And just press the default scheme. It plays just like a Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
it's
there
amazing.
might be one thing you may want to switch out, like the select key. I think was weird for.
The menu key is not triangle; it's square.
Okay, yeah.
So that's
very
the one
minimal
difference. Otherwise, it plays just like.
Speaking of FF11, isn't it free right now? Weren't you saying that?
You can go to playonline.com. You can download Final Fantasy XI and all of its expansions for free. And there's a login campaign going.
Yeah, the login campaign, though, I think it's only for people who have paid for the game, though. I don't think you can just get in for free. I think it's like, oh, hey, haven't played 11 for a while? Tired of paying for your sub?
Well, just think about this. Usually, like a game, and 11 was just like this a couple of years ago, a game with all its expansions is at least the price of a full-length game. $60 or something like that. And 11 has like 1 billion expansions, and it's also a gigantic game. It's fucking free, right? I mean, like, the monthly payment is the monthly payment.
Yeah, it's only like $12 though.
Yeah, but I mean, the speed that we're playing this game, we've had 3 months of game time right now. So,
well, maybe.
What is that? $34?
Remember the first month was free.
$36.
You remember? There was the 1 month free that we got at the beginning.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't think we've paid.
Login campaigns happen all the time.
Yeah, I don't think we paid jack for this game. We put like 7 days of our lives into it.
So if you want Final Fantasy XI, now's the time to get it, since it's fucking the Windows client on PlayOnline.com. It's free.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah, it's free, and who knows how long it's gonna last, guys. It's a numbered Final Fantasy, whether you like it or not. I mean, it's part of the series. I know some of you guys aren't don't count it as part of the series, and I mean that's okay if you want to take that route. But I mean, it's just wrong. It's just straight up wrong. It's Final Fantasy XI, and then the one after it, the one after it is 12, and the one before it is 10, and they're all ones that everyone's cool with playing, but not 11. Come on. At least do the nation missions, the first part of the game, and count it beaten. That's what we did for our when we were keeping track of how many games we'd beaten.
Yeah.
I counted 11 after I beat the main missions for the nation. Once I beat the campaign.
Well, that's because with the original 11, that was the end of the campaign.
Yeah, in fact, we went above and beyond the actual original 11, but the U.S. release we got a little more. So yeah, it doesn't take very long. We set aside a good chunk of time when we did the first 11 playthrough, and it took us like a month.
Yeah.
It was like nothing, and then like another couple weeks for.
And I promise I would rank it higher if I had a controller.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
But its default scheme is terrible keyboard.
Yeah, you can't advance it for something that wasn't out yet.
It's not.
Yeah.
If I had played it on the PS2, it would have been probably awesome.
Yeah, probably. I think it would have been better.
All right, Schweiss. Well, you want to get to some news?
Yes, let's do.
News.
And I am going nuts. I swear, like, our jingles used to be louder. Am I going insane here?
Well, no, that one for some reason is defaulted at halfway. So that one's only half as loud as it should be.
All right. Just in my ears, it doesn't work. I know. When we compress the shit out of our audio for the home audience, I'm sure there's not really a volume difference.
No,
there might be a quality difference because it's quieter volume.
There could be, yeah. I could see that happening. I would have to listen to our episodes though. So, all right. So first up in news, the City of Final Fantasy adds second form outfits for each character and more on August 18th. So if you're in Japan,
the City Arcade,
yes,
right?
the City Arcade. It looks like there's some cool new designs. Second skins. This is something that fighters do all the time, so it's kind of cool they added that. If you're in Japan, enjoy, I guess. Alright, so World of Final Fantasy introduces Siren, Ahriman, Akko, and Cockatrice. 4 new monsters for this monster of a Final Fantasy game.
There you go.
Yeah, there's some videos online. You can see their tiny little forms. Yeah, they look cool, I guess. Ahriman, I think they mentioned before.
They look like little tiny versions of great summons.
Yeah, little chibi versions of their awesomeness.
Maybe like plushie versions, I would call it.
Yeah, they're not too chibi, I guess. The Ahriman, I guess, is sort of chibi-esque anyway, because it's like this tiny fat ball of beast, but I don't know, man. That game's going to be long.
Not to bring up the anime thing again, but chibi is a different style of anime, which is supposed to be a style.
Yeah.
What the fuck, guys?
Yeah. Alright, so Final Fantasy XIV is celebrating its 3rd anniversary. And it's celebrating it with couples who found love in Eorzea.
Wait, Minzaro was one, wasn't he?
One of
Or was that Final Fantasy 11?
I think it was 11.
It was 11.
So FF14 celebrates its 3rd anniversary later this month. In commemoration of the occasion, fans can look forward to a special 14-hour broadcast beginning on August 26th, 2016 at 8 p.m. PDT. Programming includes the 31st Letter from the Producer Live, which I've never watched a single one of. And they're gonna stream viewers in Japan who will have a chance to speak with Yoshida over Skype. and it's focusing on engaged and married couples.
Huh. So, okay, are they engaged and married couples in the game? Because you can get married in the game, or are we talking about people who actually met other people in 14?
I think it's just straight. Okay, it started out sounding like people who met each other in 14, but now it's looking more like couples who play 14. I think that's what it is. So actual couples. So like if you and I were, that way, which our cooking episodes kind of made it look that way. We're sitting there like cooking shit on the stream, like, hey, you guys gay?
Sexy.
Yeah. That didn't help.
Slap his ass.
That didn't help at all. But no, if that were the case, then it would work for us. We would be able to go in and discuss it. I think that's more of what they're looking for. Is like, I don't know why. I guess maybe the anniversary kind of theme, but. If you and your significant other play 14 together, okay. I guess that's for you.
Well, and if we're wrong about that assumption, let us know.
Yeah.
Something that really freaks me out about online games, and it's been this way this entire time, is the anonymity. In fact, I hate the anonymity of the internet, and it's just because I got ways that my mind likes to organize the world, and it doesn't fit when you do that. And that's honestly like. We host our shows with our real names. I'm not doing a avatar name for my show, and many people do that, by the way.
Yeah.
There's something about the anonymity of the internet that freaks me out. The one thing that freaks me out here is being a straight male. I'm playing this game, and I'm like, ooh, look at this little cat lady. She's liking me, right?
Yeah.
And, there's like a 95% chance that it's like a 40-year-old dude
it's the dude
who lives with his mom.
It's the dude from Make Love, Not Warcraft.
Yeah.
God, it's like...
This man has no life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you kill that which does not live? Yeah, there's like a 70% chance I'd say that's the case, and they're just like looking at the character's ass from behind.
So the idea that you met someone in the game, and then it was not only that you met someone, it was a person of your preferred gender.
Yeah.
And and it works out. Like that's incredible. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it is, and just be careful.
And it's something that I just don't understand.
I don't think I'd ever meet with somebody. Like, I could understand if it's someone that you met on a game and you talked to through, like, TeamSpeak or Discord for, like, a year.
Yeah,
like when we go to the FanFest stuff, like, it'll be cool to meet some of the listeners. That's fine. That's one thing. It's another thing to be like, oh, man, I'm falling for this person. You, like, have no idea. All you have is text, and it's like they're a girl character, you're a dude. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh my god, yeah, like it's bringing back flashbacks from RuneScape and all the shit I would do in that game. Like I was the kid who in like typing class I would like try to sexually harass the computer program.
Yeah, me too.
There'd be the thing where like it would talk.
Is there a teenage boy that didn't?
No, I don't think so. I don't know, but I was always like, hey, what are you wearing? And it's like, I don't wear clothes. I am a computer. I'm like, what are you doing tonight? And like it would always like give me crappy answers because it didn't know I was trying to have sex with it because it was just programmed for like 10-year-olds, but still, like, I don't know. It's weird to me. But if you guys have, I mean, let us know. I know there's at least a couple of you that have met people through there, and some of our listeners, I know with a couple of them, like in New York, they play 14 with us. There's Emily, and then Judge Cloudprod, I believe. One of them, I think it's Cloudprod or one of the other ones.
If we get this wrong, we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a long time since I talked to you guys in 14, like 8 months now, and yeah, they're their thing. I don't know if they like it was 14 or if it was before. Who knows? But if they hit it up,
I assume it was before.
I assume so too. That would be very strange, but
who
knows? Maybe we're just weird. Maybe everyone else can. All right, so World of Final Fantasy videos.
More World of Final Fantasy videos.
No, I'm just fucking with you. There's no more.
If you guys are interested in World of Final Fantasy, there's at least an hour and a half worth of content of just little characters being summoned and shit.
Yeah. Are you still in the same boat for World of Final Fantasy? Not looking forward to it?
Well, look, the gameplay looks fun. It looks like a mobile game that they're putting on the PS4. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, graphically, it's definitely way better than mobile, but it does feel like a mobile game. I don't know. We'll see.
And it's hard for me to take mobile games seriously. Thus, this podcast.
Yeah. Well, if you tried some of the ones that I've got, you might be okay with them. All right, so an FF15 fan event in Nagoya shows off new artwork and gameplay.
Sweet.
Yeah, we got some Coleman chairs here, some camp chairs, a little pamphlet,
T-shirts.
bunch of Japanese people.
Hold on.
Oh,
Go back up to the get to the people. To the people. Let's look at this Final Fantasy 15 fan event in Nagoya. To me, at least with this picture, and this could just be a corner. This just looks like a corner of an office, like with 2 tables, with some junk on it. It's kind of not really set up all that great. Like it's definitely no 14 fan festival.
No.
It actually looks kind of sad. Whatever this event was, it seemed to have been. It looks like a private affair.
Yeah, it seems like the 20 minutes. Oh, that's a cool picture there. Like the 20 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever, pre-show for the FF15 event. Because that's all I watched. I watched that before I walked into my 2.5-hour art class, and I was like, man, this is bad. It's like these guys are such amateurs. Like this is just horrifying. Like, is this the event? Like, is this what this is? I am fucking glad I'm not watching it right now. And then I find out later, like, oh no, that was just the pre-show thing, and it means nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
Which is good, because that's kind of what this looks like. But, oh, there's some cool stuff. Fat Chocobo, the meals. God, the meals. I'm kind of stoked about the meals, though. That's kind of a cool idea to have, food give you certain buffs and whatnot.
I got is that a Square Enix hard helmet?
Yes, it is.
What?
It's for spelunking, I think. I think it's a... No, that's not the light. That's just a bad one. What the fuck? Well, it looks like they got a sense of humor, at the very least, for the making of. Danger. So, yeah, cool. We got some songs for Final Fantasy 15 listed on iTunes. So.
Yeah, this was tweeted to me. I haven't listened to anything, if anything is available. But I'm sure to check it out this week. We got a Florence and the Machine. I think their song is available on iTunes.
Yeah, the Stand By Me is there. And then it looks like we have Too Much Is Never Enough and I Will Be. Both of those songs are over 5 minutes and boast Florence and the Machine's signature ethereal sound.
Kayla Craig is a big fan of Florence and the Machine.
Yeah, their signature ethereal covers. So ethereal. I'm so touched by them playing someone else's music. It's just beautiful.
Me and you kind of have that feeling about covers, but not everybody does.
It depends on the cover. There are good covers. Don't get me wrong. There's some great stuff that Marilyn Manson has done with some of the 80s
I
tracks.
fucking hate those.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And Disturbed's covers, I think, are good. Except for the last one. If anybody likes the Sound of Silence cover, you are fucking tone deaf. And that's coming from me, someone who's actually incapable of duplicating half of the spectrum of sound. It's horrible. God.
I think most people are incapable of duplicating it.
Yeah. Oh, and then that cover of House of the Rising Sun, one of my favorite songs ever by that fucking Five Finger Death Punch band, is garbage. It's trash.
I think
Ooh.
I think their Bad Company one is worse.
Oh no! Bad Company is only half the song that House of the Rising Sun is, and I hear that fucker wailing those lyrics like an asshole. God.
Oh, it's because he's given good lyrics and he doesn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, so he just fucks his voice up, and god damn that band, dude. I can't believe I went to one of their fucking shows. I can't fucking believe it. I paid them $15 when they were new.
Their guitar work is good.
I was an enabler.
I'll give them that. You're an enabler.
Yeah. All right, so FF15, we got some more equipment, cooking, all sorts of shit. There's a lot of screenshots for 15. It's looking like you can have 3 different types of camping out. There's camps, trailer houses, that's classy, and inns, the classic inn. So you're not just resorting to chilling in the wild, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a nice callback. As long as the inns don't employ FF2 style pricing.
Yeah.
I think we can live with the inns.
I'm sure there will be some adjustments in the prices, though.
Yeah.
And I'm basing that on, since they're trying to make this kind of a realistic game, they're probably going to have bigger areas have
More
expensive lodging.
Yeah, and then we'll have to like go find the Motel 6 like we always do. We're like, oh, we'll go to the nice one. Let's go to the nice one.
The seediest hotel in town.
Yeah.
In order to save money.
Yeah, it was probably the worst one in Vegas when we went. It wasn't that bad though, I guess. The pool was, it didn't make me feel like I was going to get my throat slit like the one in Anaheim did. It's right out next to the road. There's all these like not trustworthy looking people walking by all day, and I'm like, dude, there's no light.
Well, it is Anaheim.
Yeah, it's bad. It looks disgusting. Disneyland is the prime of that. So yeah, there's some new Chocobo picks. You can check that out. The article's on Gematsu.com. So yeah.
As are most of these. By the way, thank you for Shinru for giving us our news.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, man. We really do appreciate it. So we got a new World of Wonder trailer for Final Fantasy 15 featuring music from Florence and the Machine.
What?
I know! I didn't realize they were with this game.
Alright.
Yeah, so we got some more trailers. Do you want to watch this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, let's do it. Let's bring it onto the screen so everybody can watch with us. And let's turn it towards Joe so he can see too.
Sounds like music. Okay, we're seeing like a weird creature waking up.
Yeah, I thought it was a chocobo for like half a second, and then I saw it.
Yeah, it's like a freakish bird thing. I don't know what it is.
Ooh, we got the little sheep poofs from 13. I like those things.
What in God's name is that thing?
I don't know, but it's
like
got a beautiful voice. This is I Will Be, apparently, by Florence and the Machine playing.
Seeing some beautiful screenshots, like a misty area.
Yeah. Man, this game looks phenomenal graphically.
I'm pretty excited for this 15. I don't know if I say that enough, but I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, I am too.
Alright, I think we got it.
You think we understand?
So if you want to watch some more, I mean, we've had like 2 of these come out before.
Yeah, we've had
some wildlife videos from wildlife in quotes, by the way. Some wildlife videos from Final Fantasy 15. Be sure to check them out. It's called World of Final Fantasy 15, right?
Right. And they're on Gematsu and Silicon Era, wherever. You'll probably be able to find it. It's pretty easy. It's Final Fantasy quotations around it.
Mm-hmm.
So remember how we had this weird feeling about the pre-order and the season pass and the DLC and all that shit?
Yeah.
So I
didn't understand.
They've given us some more details. So they've provided descriptions to confirm what the episodes will let us do. And yeah, let's get into that. All right, so the booster pack, the first DLC, is going to let you freely obtain powerful weapons that will give you an edge and make battles more exciting. Episode Gladiolus, the second DLC, is a completely original episode focused on Noctis's companion Gladiolus. In this episode, you can control him as a playable character.
Is it called Brotherhood 3?
I don't know. Holiday Pack DLC 3, freely obtain a wonderful item pack. Oh, wow. That will make the game even flashier. So I assume it's something Christmassy. It's Holiday Pack. Or maybe all 3 of the holidays. Who knows? Episode Ignis. Of course, it's just an episode where you play as Ignis. Episode Prompto, same thing. Online expansion pack. An expansion pack that lets you play a completely new Final Fantasy 15.
Huh.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Online expansion pack.
An expansion pack that lets you play a completely new Final Fantasy. What? What the fuck?
I don't know. If it's an online Final Fantasy 15 part, it'd be amazing.
Adds clarification, adds more confusion as well.
Yeah, and of course the digital premium edition you can pre-order from the PlayStation Store and Xbox Game Store for $84.99. The season pass can be purchased as an upgrade to the standalone game on both stores for $24.99. So remember last week how there wasn't anything about not pre-ordering it? Yeah, so now you can just buy it for $25, which is, I guess that's worth it. I don't know. It's tough with
With some
DLC.
cooler weapons.
Yeah, it's tough
and
with
this new Final Fantasy on the online. What?
I don't know. It doesn't really.
We've
offer
had a
that.
lot of rumors about online capabilities of 15.
Yeah, we have.
But
yeah.
it feels like they're still just kind of wondering what that is. Like, they don't even know what
I think it would be cool if you could team up for, like, hunts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like, on your screen, everyone plays as Noctis, but on my screen, you're, like, Prompto and then Ignis and whatever else, and we go in and we kill this big beast kind of a thing. Like, that would be fucking awesome. I would love that. And, of course, we're going to finish it off with a scummy, grody, disgusting rumor saying that Final Fantasy 15 will be delayed until November 29th. So this is apparently from a website or a source person, a fucking deep throat, that told them that the game was going to be released on September 30th. So I guess this individual, whoever's leaking the information, who obviously can't reveal themselves, or they'll have to commit seppuku and to restore what little dignity and honor that remains to them. Yeah, they basically are one of the people who told them that the game was going to be released on September 30th before they announced it at the Uncovered event. So I don't know if this is legit or not, but I figured we might as well touch on it. And what do you think?
All right. If it's legit, then I think that there's probably a good reason for them to move it. And that's it'll be a better game for it. Obviously, they're running into issues. If, in fact, this turns out to be the case, and I don't mind it being delayed a month.
Yeah.
At that point, I mean, I've been waiting 10 years. I can wait another month. So I don't think it spells trouble. I actually think it spells security and intelligence. If they decided to delay the game.
Yeah, kind of a bad move to overpromise in the beginning, but I would say if the game's not ready to be released, then just don't release it. It's more forgivable to push a game back than it is to put out a pile of shit. I mean,
yeah, or something that's I don't know. Is it was Assassin's Creed 4?
One of them. It's like Brotherhood. Yeah, it was bad. Like people couldn't even play it for some parts. It was just so bad.
So we don't want that situation happening.
Yeah, and that thing made them think about whether or not they were going to do more Assassin's Creed. Like, that was a huge hit. Mm-hmm. And that's from a company, that's from Ubisoft, someone who's doing fine. It has, like, tons of different IPs that are doing tons of great things. Far Cry, all these other IPs that they have, and they're considering maybe not doing it again. Like, they're like, I don't know.
We shouldn't have been fucking pumping them out every 6 months, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was yearly, but still, like, yeah, if you're not done, then just don't, and it's tough when all these publishers are on your back.
You're big enough that I don't think you're actually going to lose. You might lose some money, but I don't know how to measure. How would you measure how much money you lost based upon putting off your product for 30 days?
It's impossible, I would say. I don't think there's any way you could truly measure that. And also, obviously, I mean, with Square Enix, it's a different story because they don't have, they're the developers and the publishers, so they don't have someone like pushing a deadline on them. I'm sure they do within their company, but it's the company.
I'm sure the stockholders are also like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's the company though, and like it's a little more manageable to be like, look, it's just not ready. So if it is the case, then I kind of agree.
It's not ready, and it's the most important IP to Square Enix.
Yeah, it is by far, and they can't mess this up. They've stated many times that we all feel like this could be the end if it doesn't do well. And we're not talking it's a great game. We're talking it has to sell. Whether or not it's great or not so great or whatever, if this thing doesn't make money, I don't know what they're going to do.
Do you think that, I mean, we usually don't do rumors, but this is such a big rumor.
Yeah, plus someone tweeted me earlier that it had been debunked, but I didn't see anything.
Okay.
And I saw an update on this page from this morning.
If it's been debunked, forget that this conversation ever happened.
Yeah.
It hasn't been debunked. We told you first.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't check the article they sent me, but this one had been updated today, so I'm going to treat it as if someone still thinks it's the case.
Okay. All right. Well, it's just a rumor then.
Yeah.
Just a rumor, and hopefully it's not true.
Yeah.
And if it is true, I don't mind it.
I guess you'll get a 13.2 review before then, probably.
Probably not.
At this rate.
Based upon how fast we've been beating 11. Before we get into 11, I do want to actually touch upon, you mentioned selling FF15.
Yeah.
And we had someone in our Twitter when we were playing 11 the other night who was talking about, do we think that 15 will be a success or if it'll be a flop?
Yeah.
And then I had to go, hold on a minute. There's something called critical failure, and there's something called a flop or a bomb.
Yeah.
Bomb is a very bad flop.
Right. So here's the difference between the two. A critical failure would be Batman v Superman, not a flop by any means. The movie made a lot of money, 800-something million, I think, is the last time I checked, and it was still in theaters at that time.
Yes.
Not a flop. Studio's fine. Piece of shit, sure.
And they're gonna keep making movies.
Yeah, because they made money on it. It wasn't a financial flop.
Critical failure. Transformers 4 made a shitload of money.
Yeah. Mostly overseas, but still,
yeah,
they're not going to stop.
Honestly, those big budget Hollywood movies with a lot of special effects make most of their money overseas regardless.
Dude, it's sick. It made like nothing here, and like it grossed over $1 trillion, I think, something like that. Or $1 billion, not $1 trillion. Sorry,
it did not.
Sorry, the U.S. debt is really messing with my numbers.
So that's a critical failure. A flop is simply something that comes out. It could be a game, it could be a movie, it can be a book, whatever. A flop is something that comes out and doesn't make its money back. So when you're saying, 13 was a flop, people will say that. People will say 13 was a flop, and it's like, fucking, it sold 6 million copies. No, it was not a flop.
Yeah, that's a big game.
What's 6 million times 60? Because that's how much money they made.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it would be, let's see, 6 times 6 is 36, add the 0. So,
$360 million?
That's about right.
Yeah.
And that's just for, that's just for the regular editions. I know other countries got the special edition, which I was pissed about, by the way. I wanted a special edition of 13. Walked into GameStop, and I go, it's just a regular edition. I'm like, what do you mean it's just a regular edition? It's like the only Final Fantasy that's come out in 3 years. But whatever. So just the regular edition, that's a lot of money.
I guarantee you, it would be one of the most expensive games of all time if it were in the $300 million range, which it was not.
No.
So,
it wasn't.
FF13, not a flop.
FF13 didn't cost nearly.
And it's not even a critical failure either. I mean, with some listeners, I'm sure, and a lot of the players, especially the loud and obnoxious ones online, really fucking hate 13.
Yeah.
That does not make it a flop.
Yeah, and you guys know our thoughts on it. I mean, it's not the best game ever.
It's not, but it's not the worst, I don't think.
No, it isn't. And so it's neither a flop nor really a critical failure, because it's got like an 80-something on
Metacritic. Yeah, there you go.
Admittedly, the main series FF games kind of get special treatment, I think. Like the fact that 8 is tied with like 7 and 6 and like 10. They all have the same score. That hurts. I'm okay with 9 having a little better of a score, even though I don't think it's the best. I think it's a really good game. But the amount of games that are in the 90s and all tied with each other is just absurd. So take that as you will, and I think that shows. I should think that shows a great difference between 13 and the rest of the series.
Oh, the couple of percentages?
Yeah, the like 5-6% is like a big deal. But it's still not that bad of a game. Nope. I mean, most games are lucky.
It's definitely not a bomb, which is a huge, like, okay, I'll tell you what is a bomb or a flop in the series, and it's called Final Fantasy The Spirits Within.
Yeah.
Which cost, almost $100 million, and let's see, I think it brought in like 20 or 40 million.
Yeah, it caused the creator of the series to lose his job.
To lose his position in the company and be shirked off, and then he had to quit later.
The man that made the company, basically. It just removed. It just quit because it was just that bad.
Now, but a critical success.
Yeah, it's positive, I think.
I don't think it is positive. I think it's like mid-range. But Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars. I mean, it's not as bad of a bomb as it could have been.
Yeah.
I just said bomb in the wrong.
It's not as bad of a critical.
Not as bad of a critical score as it could be. But yet, these games that are getting like pretty good scores like 13,
Yeah.
the gaming community will mislabel them as flops or bombs.
Yeah, so don't do that. Don't be an asshole.
The only one that you could call a bomb is that movie, Spirits Within.
Yeah, I don't think any other game they've never said other than that anything's a bomb. Even like the 7 spin-offs. Like they just don't have a huge budget for it, and they know, okay, well this will bring in a decent amount of money, and we'll set this team on it. Whatever.
Lightning Returns was kind of a disappointment. I think it sold under 1 million copies or something like that.
Yeah, it didn't do very well. Although they pumped those out pretty quick, it seems like. So
it did. They pumped out 13 too, and it's all on the same engine, so it's not like they have to put in the millions of dollars in order to create a new engine
to build it, like 15,
like they did with 15, or with 13. They had the Luminous engine, I think they called it,
something like that.
Or Crystal Tools. Which one was it?
I think it was Crystal Tools. Then Luminous is the new one.
Okay. And so they're not pumping in money for that. They have a staff that's just working on the gameplay. And, I mean, I say just. I'm sure it costs quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the only one that I'm thinking that might not have made money was Lightning Returns. But even then, I don't know. I think it sold around 1 million copies.
Yeah, it was. They were like a third of each other. Is what it was.
Might have been. I think it might have been less than that. Might have been like 500,000 copies. But someone's going to correct me on that, I'm sure. It's been a while since we actually looked at those numbers.
Yeah, sales data changes all the time, and now that stuff is available on multiple platforms like 13 will be on Steam and all that, it's tough to keep track of it. So
stop calling it a flop when you mean critical failure, or that you mean the fans don't like it. The Final Fantasy fans don't like it. I think it's important to differentiate that.
Yeah, it is, because a financial flop, is what determines whether or not you're going to make another one.
Yep, it really has nothing to do with critical success.
Yeah, you can make a trash game that sells very well and be fine. Studios do it all the time.
Yeah. All right, well, let's have a discussion, Schweiss. We're 50 minutes into this podcast. We're finally going to get into the discussion segment. Let's talk about Treasures of Aht Urghan.
Very good.
Anybody on the Twitch?
We had one person earlier. Nope, nobody's hanging out right now.
Okay.
What the fuck?
I think we're starting them too early now.
Well, it's 11:40.
I know, we used to start them at noon.
Well, we said 11, though. Of course, I guess it doesn't matter what we say.
Yeah, if we start them at noon every time.
It matters what we do.
That's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm ready when you are, man. I'm ready to get into this.
All right, hit it up.
All right, so the Treasures of Aht Urghan. It was released to the U.S. and Canada on April 18th, 2006.
Ooh.
2 days before it was available in other territories, including Japan.
Suck it!
I wonder if they were like, well, let's test these on the Americans.
Yeah.
And, we got 2 days to fix it for the Japanese.
Were there guinea pigs? Jesus.
I feel like perhaps
Is
we
it
were.
too hard, Americans?
Yeah.
No.
It included 3 more job classes that were not previously available, including the Blue Mage.
Yeah.
A massively OP
fucking
class
OP.
that uses blue magic. And Manzara's a blue mage, and I think he subs ninja.
If I had about a month to play this, I'd probably be blue mage. Like a month of my life, I would probably do it.
Oh, okay.
I think it'd be cool. I like going around and grabbing the spells from other enemies. I know that's one thing you don't really care for in FF, but I think it's cool. Maybe it's not that you don't care for that. It's that you don't care for the class.
For the time consumption?
Yeah.
Based around that. So I know in order to beat you in Final Fantasy VII when we did the time trial before we started this podcast,
you had to do the blue mage stuff.
I had to do a blue mage because Trine is an amazing skill.
Yeah.
It does a fuck ton of damage, and most of the bosses would die with Trine. So that's how you beat Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, get Trine. It's sick.
So yeah, the blue mage, I think we had a discussion last night, or maybe it was the night before, a discussion the night before that was what is the most OP class in FF11, and so far as we could see and tell, and there was a blue mage that was destroying shit in the Bodega tree, by the way. He would take like 6 dudes from around there, and they're like 9,000 XP each. at that level, by the way.
Yeah.
And he would just kill them all in like 2 seconds. He would do some like couple of AoE moves that would just disintegrate them.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure he was a blue mage. We have a Corsair was also added. They have luck-based and buffing magic.
Yeah, they're really awesome to have as trusts. Never would want to be one, though.
And then the Puppet Master, which does hand-to-hand attacks and has customizable puppets.
Master!
Where's the dreams that happen? Sorry. All right. And to match the new story of the expansion, many new areas of the game were included, including Urghan, Halvung, the ruins of Al-Zadal, Mamul Savage Lands, and the Arapago Islands.
Yeah.
Let's be clear here about Final Fantasy XI. Unless you're a fucking linguist, you're not going to be able to pronounce any of the fucking names of any of these goddamn areas.
Yeah, Sid is about the best one you got. Some of those Galka guys, they're pretty easy names.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We were calling Juno. We called Juno Juno at the beginning. And then Credital shows up in our group when we started, last year. And he starts calling it Jueno.
Yeah, Jueno.
It's so Juno. Like, after months and months of calling it Jueno, someone brought it up who hadn't been playing with us for a while. Must have been Shuri. Or
Yeah, he's like, it's Juno. Like, why do you keep saying that?
Why do you keep calling it Jueno? And it's like, I looked at the spelling and I'm like, why the fuck do we keep calling it Jueno?
I don't know.
It's Juno.
Yeah. It's tough, though.
And there are some things like Delphux Tower.
Yeah. That one I can almost not say without saying Delphux. Like,
I know. I'm living with my parents now, and the fuck word is not a nice word to say in the house.
No.
So when I'm like looking at the thing, I'm like, we're going to Delphux Tower. So I'm like hoping that my parents don't hear me in my room just saying,
It's like
fuck!
Yeah.
So the show begins when the isolated empire of Aht Urghan opens its doors to adventurers like Japan a couple hundred years ago. The great Nuborius, of course, obtains a boarding permit, and when he arrives, he's quickly put to work by the president of the mercenary organization, Naja Salahim. Now, you love our Miss Naja Salahim. You want to talk about her a little bit?
Alright, so this chick is the most bipolar character probably in the whole game. She can go from really happy and really pleased with you to like pissed, slamming her little mace on the table, like yelling at you, telling you to get the fuck out, making you just feel like shit. But I think she's hilarious. There's one part where... I'll keep going. We'll talk about it when we get there. I love her.
So she's also a cat lady who purrs with her R's.
Yeah.
So as I can tell, there's a lot. When you read the text boxes, there's a lot of R's in between. Anyway.
I made her purr. Don't you worry.
So with this empire opening its doors, a former knight of Sandoria, Ralifal, we don't know how to say his name. Once again, another name that we can't say. He's found to be attempting to get information about this new empire that's opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't seem to trust the new empire. And soon he finds out about the astral candescence, which the beastmen want, and it's some sort of power that's drawing them. They're drawing them towards it. So it looks like we're going to have another beast war on the horizon.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like in this expansion. Now, Ralifel is quickly found out by Nuborius to be Prince Tryon of Sandoria.
Yeah, did you choose not his name? When you first ran into him, there's like an option. He's like, who am I? And I looked at the options and I called him something else, and he's like, duh, my brother? How dare you? And he just like leaves. This is a trust that I used for hours, by the way, so I knew who he is.
Yeah, so this Ralifel guy,
great.
he's like causing trouble, he's asking questions, he's being a dickhole. And the way that you find out that he's totally a Prince of Sandoria, besides the fact that you might have seen him before in Sandoria,
yeah, maybe.
The way they find out is simply the way that he treats people. He treats them like lessers.
Yeah.
He treats them, more than I treat everybody else. Like
yeah,
lessers,
it's pretty
right?
bad.
He treats them like subservient to him.
But in this case,
he's trying to be undercover, and so it totally gives him away as someone who's really highborn and shouldn't just be an adventurer.
Right, and it's funny when you join up with Naja Salahim, she has you like pronounce your name. She's like, "Hey, what's your name?" He's like, El Husk. He's like, El Husk. That's like a savage name. I can't even begin to try to pronounce that. And she like gives you a piece of paper and is like, write it down for me so I can try to get used to it. And you like write it down. And then it turns out that the paper you wrote on was like a contract where you're supposed to serve her for like eternity or some shit. Tryon does the same thing when he joins up. It's pretty funny.
So,
Our guys are fucking idiots, apparently.
So Prince Tryon then, he calls together an emergency summit of the three nations, which the Empress of Aht Urghan, do we even know her name? I didn't get her name. Nashmeria? Okay. She remarks as them having taken the bait.
She's the one with the puppets, right?
Puppets?
Yeah, she's the girl that has the puppets.
I think maybe. She's the girl.
The girl, the main girl in Aht Urghan. Yeah, it's Nashmeria.
All right.
Fucking love her, dude. She wants it, dude. I'm telling you. She wants it bad by the end. I'll get into it later, but just keep that in mind. El Husk is desired by an NPC.
All right, I have this quite abridged, so if there's something you want to talk about, you let me know.
All right.
Nuborius is then the Great Nuborius, not El Husk, but Nuborius. Nuborius Caesar is then sent by Naj to investigate some ancient ruins, the ruins of Al-Zadal. And he doesn't know why he's going there, by the way, but he soon finds out. So these ruins of Al-Zadal, they date back 900 years, and we find out that its purpose is to find the missing astral condensed fucking fucks. The astral whatevers that are drawing the Beastmen.
Okay.
And Nuborius is asked to search for the others and to keep it a secret. Like, this astral thing.
It's a good thing our character is a mute, then.
Okay, so after playing Aht Urghan, and after having to, like, go look back and write down this thing for the story, Schweiss, that's a fucking cliffhanger. Because I can't remember anything else that happens about astral condolences or whatever. Condenses.
Yeah. I don't remember either. I don't remember seeing anything else. I know they were all searching for it, but... Yeah,
they're all searching for it, but then the ship shows up. And then that's what the story becomes.
Yeah, it's all about the ghost ship.
So, soon it's rumored that a 200-year-old ghost ship, now called the Black Coffin...
Kind of crappy movie, by the way. Wouldn't recommend Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship. Hey, is Ghost Ship a remake? I think there might actually be a...
Maybe.
Older film.
There is an awesome scene where a wire cuts like 100 people in half, though.
Nice.
It's pretty crazy.
So this Black Coffin ship is rumored to have arrived, and Nuborius is then commissioned by the Empress to investigate, leading him to a graveyard and a pissed-off ghost knight named Sir Jazaret. Now, I had some problems with Sir Jazaret. I may have died twice to him when I should not have died at all to him.
Really?
Yes. So I got there and I was fighting Sir Jazaret.
Okay.
But and I got him to pop when you investigate the gravestone.
Right, the cutter. Oh no, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that guy. Okay, sorry, I'm thinking.
And then all of a sudden I got aggroed like fucking crazy from other dudes around Jazaret.
Yeah.
Jazaret has a lot of armor, so it takes a little while to kill. At least at my level, he did. And so I died because I was outnumbered by all these dudes.
Okay.
I come back almost immediately. I warp in there, and then the gravestone doesn't pop in.
Yeah.
I click on the thing. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I must have walked out of the room, just being like, oh, I'll just wait till the timer comes back up.
Yeah.
He fucking popped.
While you were gone.
Yeah, while I was gone. So me clicking it, and then 2 minutes later, he must have popped up and then killed me. So I died from him then. And then I was like pissed off because it takes a while to walk to him.
Yeah,
at least it did back then before we had mounts, which we also got during this expansion, I think. No, we might have gotten it.
We had it before.
We got it before.
It still takes a while to walk around this area, though. There's no good way of teleporting without grinding to get these points.
These later expansion areas don't have as many teleports available.
Yeah,
because they're dicks. So that's
I guess.
But he shouldn't have been so difficult for me. Like, I shouldn't have died to him twice before killing him. But he just was. It was ridiculous.
That's nuts. There's a lot of stuff that aggro's in that area, though. So I can see how there's occasions where you'll run into it and be like, I don't know why I died to this. Like, This just wasn't good at that moment.
So when you slaughter the ghost, he drops a gold coin, and so Sir Asshat drops a gold coin, and Nuborius is then granted passage into the black coffin with this gold coin, which leads to an ambush and a huge fight on the ship.
Yeah.
That was a cool fight, I think. There was the main pirate captain guy or whatever, and then he would have a slew of dudes that you had to kill, and then he had another slew of dudes that you had to kill.
Yeah, anything with the ghost ship in this expansion I thought was pretty cool. I thought it was a nice, eerie area, and a lot of fun to fight stuff on it.
And so you kicked the shit out of that fight, though. I did, anyway.
It's easy. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, we all played that one together, didn't we?
I don't know if it was that one.
I think we did. I think I remember us playing that together. Maybe not. In the end, Nuborius is rewarded for his bravery, and we're left wondering what else the Empress may be up to. Mostly because I'm like, what the fuck else happened to the astral condensuses or whatever? Maybe we'll find out, or maybe there were extra quests involved.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But that's what I got from the story, and that's what I could remember.
Well, we also, later on, we end up learning about all the stuff with Alexander. Where
yeah, that's right.
the Empire, the Nashmeria's brother, who basically decommissioned her as the ruler, because she was the one granted by their father to rule in his stead when he dies. And her brother was not cool with that. The Grand Vizier, by the way, if anyone is a Vizier ever, they're going to be evil. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Lion King, or not Lion King.
I totally forgot that the fucking things was part of this expansion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they basically find a way to reactivate Alexander, control him. He's not quite as epically huge.
That might have been the astral condensed thing. Like,
I don't remember.
That might have been what that was.
That might be what they use
Yeah.
it for. We're assholes for not remembering this.
Yeah.
Corrections time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Krenitel's got it.
Yeah, but anyway, there's a rivalry between Alexander and Odin in this game, in this expansion as well. Wait, is it? Yeah, it's Odin, right?
Yeah, it's Odin.
Okay, I for some reason in my mind I mix up Odin and Ramu. I don't know why.
It's definitely Odin.
Odin is way more evil in these games and way more badass. Ramu does have the beard.
Ramu is badass at 15, but we've already discussed that at length.
It's true, yeah, very much. So they fucking hate each other, and we got that the captain or one of the dudes on the ghost ship that is like fallen for Nashmeria. He loves her. He's like finding new reasons to exist, right? Because of her, he ends up being the vessel for Odin, and it's awesome. Like we go down into Alexander's area, we fight him, and then Odin shows up, and they like go at each other, and you end up destroying Alexander. And I think that's the only fight we grouped up for. I may be wrong. There might have been one earlier on that we did, but I don't know. That part I thought was awesome. I thought fighting Alexander was sweet.
Alexander was awesome.
We fought another character, Rauban, from 14. He's a little different in 11. He's a bad guy and doesn't get his arm cut off, unfortunately. But yeah, spoilers.
Spoiler!
But I thought that was my favorite part about it, was the Odin and the Alexander stuff. And then, of course, Nadja. I thought she was hilarious. I think she's a great character. And by the end, you meet up with Nashmeria again, and she wants it. This is what I was getting into earlier. So she's like, El Husk, thank you so much. Here's a reward. Here's... what do you want? Take one of these 3 great treasures of Aht Urghan. Finally, it's like the moment in a movie when they name the movie kind of a thing. That's how it felt. So I got the one that gave me damage, of course, because I'm a power monger. And we get that. And she's like, if only you and I could... No. In another...
Oh, I remember that now!
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. I don't know how old she is, but apparently she's old enough to be the empress of a nation, so I mean that's enough for me. That's a lot of responsibility. So yeah, El Husk was he's gonna get some, but then she said no in the end, of course. Unlucky again. What'd you think about that dancer guy that was in
that's in Wings of the Goddess.
In Nadja's... Oh no, not that dancer. The dude. Okay, there's another really funny part where you finally complete everything, and you go back to Naj, or Naja, whatever the hell, and you're going up to her, and she's like, "Oh, good job. I'm gonna miss you. I guess this is the end." And then she's like, "Ah, except for all the debts you've incurred." And then she starts listing off like all these things that you've done, all this food that you've eaten, all these destructive things that have happened because of you, and then you owe her like 10 million coins or some shit. So you're like never released from her, basically. And then there's this dude, this like peon guy that's in the guild as well. He's a mercenary as well, and he's chilling in there. And he's the guy that's like the accountant, basically. He's like listing off all the debts, and then by the end, it was really funny. He like does the death animation. He like falls over on the ground after reading it all because it's like so much debt. The guy's like, oh, falls down. So I don't know. I feel like this expansion had a lot more comedy in it than the previous one.
It did.
I feel like I enjoyed the cutscenes about as much as I did the last one. There weren't as many really cool cutscenes, but the ones where it was a lot of reading, I was getting some enjoyment out of the characters, at least. I found that to be a nice getaway, I guess, a nice reprieve from the boringness of some of the nation mission cutscenes where I didn't give a fuck about what was happening because it was super boring.
I think Promathia had a very strong second half, and that's the expansion we played before this.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, with Rise of the Xylart, or not Rise of the Xylart, fucking Treasures of Aht Urghan, I'm not sure if I feel as strongly about it as you do. Mostly because my eyes were glazing over with the amount of cutscenes that we had to go through. Now, we did play this game way faster than a normal person should have. And so, with that in mind, there wasn't nearly as much gameplay in between the cutscenes, and there's a lot more gameplay in between the cutscenes in Chains, in Xylart, and in Wings of the Goddess. This is, with the exception of a couple item quests, I think like 2, and then I think about 4 battles, it's all cutscenes. And there's a fuck ton. There's like 40 cutscenes in this expansion. So my eyes, as you can see by me not remembering the fucking second half of the goddamn story, all I remembered was the shit, and then for some odd reason, like my mind blocked out fucking.
And the dude who ends up summoning Odin decides that he's okay to die. It's like a weird giving up on life. Like I can move on. The whole ghost thing where it's like, oh, you're kept to this realm because there's something bugging you. Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
So thanks for jogging my memory there, and I feel like a fucking failure. No, like...
Oh, I'm sure we failed on that beast thing. I'm sure. No doubt.
So, getting through these cutscenes was just like, my mind was like melting watching all these fucking cutscenes.
Yeah, it's kind of like what happened.
And eventually I just stopped paying attention.
It's kind of what, like, unfortunately happened with FF9 for us. Like, we were going through it too fast, and there was just so much dialogue.
Yeah, there needs to be more gameplay in between. Yeah. And I don't think it's necessarily Aht Urghan's fault that it's that way. I think it would have been back in the day when the expansions were hard and you were only level 75, and maybe these battles would have been sick at 75.
Yeah. I don't think it's meant to be plowed through the way we did it either.
No, I don't think
it's supposed to be because there are these God, I can never remember what they're called. They're like little battle areas that you get coins, and you get like rank up stuff from the within Aht Urghan, and that stuff is removed. We don't have to do that anymore. There's no requirement.
We used to have to do it in order to...
Yeah, there was more gameplay back in the day, and they've just nerfed it to let people get through it so they can get to the super late game content that everyone's at that plays this game, basically. So it might have been partially just the fact that Square wants people to get through this, get through everything, actually complete the game. So they're like, well, we'll take away the requirements to do these missions to level yourself up, to get these certain items. We'll just let you go through. That made it feel that way, because it was a lot of cutscenes, and it was a very single-playered MMO experience. Like, this one felt like 14 to me, where I can go through most of the story by myself, and I almost had to. Like, all these cutscenes, there's no reason to hang out with a bunch of people, like, oh, we're meeting at 7? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when we meet. It only matters when we meet up on the battlefields that we can't beat solo, which there were 2 of them that... I feel like at the very least the one where we're trying to keep Naja alive and those orb like bop it looking things come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those spike ball dudes. That
Yeah.
one we couldn't have beat by ourselves. I know that. And maybe Alexander would have given us some trouble solo. I could see that. But other than that, like this was a very FF14 feel in 11. It was like you're just playing
like
by
a
yourself.
single player RPG except for battles that you decide to team up with.
Right, and I feel like a lot of that, I mean, Aht Urghan apparently unlocks a lot of late level stuff and like dungeons and raids and whatever else. And we didn't really do that. We're just going through hitting the storyline up, and we might do a few super bosses at the end just to try, like wet our whistles on them or whatever. I'm trying to out old man Caleb Craig here with the sayings, and that might have added some length to it and some more of a MMO feel where it's like the thing we love about 11 is that we have to team up, that we have to work together to play it. Like 14, it's like, yeah, we'll meet for the raids, but be here by this day and we'll all be here. If not, find somebody else and you can. But with 11, prior to this, it was, okay, we need to have everyone here. We can't just do this game without all of us, or at least 4 of us in one room. And this expansion was not that at all. So it was very single player, which is very quick. It allows you to work at your own pace, which I like. But at the same time, I don't want all of the expansions to be this way. I want them to have a little more footwork, a little more going to grab item drops. At least I'm doing something.
I mean, the 4 days is good for us because we can beat the game faster.
Yeah.
Right? We can beat all these cutscenes really quickly, and we can have our eyes glazed over with just like sadness of just watching cutscenes all day. But I would have to say I'm enjoying Wings of the Goddess more simply because there's more gameplay involved.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I think Wings of the Goddess is a pain in the fucking ass.
Chains of Promathia as well.
I hate the going back in time shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I hate it, dude. You have to travel so fucking far to get those cavernous maws.
We'll talk about that next time.
Oh yeah, we'll fucking talk about it.
All right, Schweiss. So I just want to reiterate my experience for this thing was rushed, and I wish that we weren't trying to rush it so much because then I could have like maybe internalized more of the story. There was at the beginning I was thinking this is what year was this made? This feels like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Kinda, yeah.
I do remember that, and I do remember finding the Prince thing amusing, and then going to find the capture ship amusing, and then now I'm the Alexander thing I thought was really cool, but I gotta say I rushed all these cutscenes. The cutscenes are freaking long, so I mean I'm gonna posit that maybe the cutscenes could have been a little bit more succinct. But who knows?
Yeah, we didn't make it, so whatever.
Alright, so Schweiss, we have 3 expansions to rank and then the main missions of FF11. So, out of Promathia, Xylart, FF11, and now Treasures of Aht Urghan. How do you rank the games?
Alright, well last time we had it Promathia at the top, then Xylart, then FF11.
Yeah, we were both on page for that.
I'm gonna do Promathia still top, just barely. There's a lot of stuff in Promathia that was really fucking boring in the beginning. And then I'm gonna do Treasures of Aht Urghan. And then Xylart, and then original FF11 Nation missions.
Okay.
I feel like that's solid.
All right.
What about yourself? What do you think?
I guarantee you that there's some bias here, but I really wish that there was more gameplay in this expansion that was part of the missions. Even if there were other quests involved in order to get missions unlocked in the original game, doing those special raids, I guess, whatever they are. Even if there are those things, I'm still thinking that it needed more gameplay.
Okay.
It needed more dungeon crawling or something like that. Which I usually fucking hate, mostly because it takes up a lot of time. But it is something that's not a cutscene.
True.
So I'm actually going to rank it. Promathia is number 1. Xylart as number 2. Then Aht Urghan as number 3. And then the original FF11 missions is dead last.
All right, well, we can at least agree on it being better than the original missions.
Yeah. I thought Xylart had a lot going for it, especially with that final area and getting all those things and the mazes and all the boss fights sort of towards the end. There's a lot of things about Xylart gameplay-wise that I really like.
Yeah.
And Aht Urghan just had nothing gameplay-wise, except for some fights, and very good fights at that.
Yeah.
But besides that...
See, I felt the other way. I felt like Xylart and the beginning part of Promathia was really boring. Like, the cutscenes, I did not care about any of it, especially Xylart. Like, I don't give a fuck about this. Like, they're cool. I guess they're gods, but there's just so much, and...
But you like the characters that have been introduced in this one.
Yeah, I like the characters a lot.
Yeah, Naj is very entertaining. I'll give you that. Whenever she slams the table and the camera shakes.
Yeah, and she's getting, like, pissed. I think it's funny to watch, like, a bipolar character in the game. Like, super pleased, and then, like, ha! Now I'm pissed. It was great, and, yeah, Promathia is still king, even though it was frustrating, because there were some major...
Oh, but the ending half of Promathia is just...
Oh, yeah, it's incredible. It's, like, the best part of this game so far.
Yeah.
And it might end up being the best thing in the game. I don't think Wings of the Goddess so far is not doing it by any means. There's a lot more questing in Wings of the Goddess, but, again, it's starting to fall into that realm of, I don't care, it's really lame.
We're also starting to fall into the realm of not that many people beat Wings of the Goddess, and not that many people have beat Seekers of Adoulin.
Yeah.
And we plan on beating both.
Yeah.
So, and then Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, the very last.
Right. I'm looking forward to Rhapsodies, though. It's a cool name, at the very least.
Oh, yeah.
So, if we get Lion back, Lion. So, any expansion that has Lion in it is worth playing, I'd say.
All right, Schweiss. Well, we got, I pulled up some questions, so,
You want to answer them?
let's answer some questions.
Okay.
After a quick break. Mostly to get our questions from us to you pulled up.
That is an important thing.
I think was a Final Fantasy XI related question, wasn't
It was, yeah.
it? All right.
This time. Oh, man.
Is it still from Is to you? God damn it.
No one answered. Oh, no one cares. All right, let's do it.
All right, so it's going to go questions, iTunes reviews,
Yeah.
and then questions from us to you.
Mhm.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, do it. You have questions for us. Hear from you.
Don't do that, don't forget.
Oh, yes.
So,
Oh, God.
what is our first question here?
All right, our first question for this week is titled Spoilers. This one's from Batman. Yeah, Batman.
He's back.
2J. I was wondering how you guys were planning on handling spoilers when you get to FF15. Unless I'm mistaken, this will be the first game you have played that is a new game. I personally avoid any sort of spoiler at all costs. At all costs. And have even stayed away from the demo so I can experience the game fully on release. I know you guys normally talk about how you are progressing through a game during the show, and I was wondering if you have thought about how you might approach potential spoilers. By the way, the 10-2 reviews were by far my favorite. The game makes me want to break out my rusty butter knife. Yeah, callback. But I don't think I have ever laughed that hard during your show.
Thank you.
I even saved it on my phone.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. The answer to this that Joe posted was, we'll have a much longer than normal playtime for 15. Y'all will have 3 months to catch up. I second that. There's not really going to be much in the way of spoilers, and we can try to...
I think if there's any like world-shattering twists,
yeah, like when King Regis dies, we won't tell you guys.
anything like that, we'll keep away from. I think we can talk about, hey, where are you in the game? Oh, I'm in this area.
Yeah, or be like, hey, I'm at that part where that one guy does that one thing. We'll just be super vague and annoying.
And then you guys who have probably, I'm sure, played the game and beat it in 3 weeks, will know exactly what we're talking about.
Well, if I do my one straight day of streaming, which I will do, I'm going to be really far in this game. I'm going to know a lot of stuff.
We should do that for Wings of the Goddess. Speaking of rushed.
11 hour
stuff.
of 11?
Yeah.
When? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow? I mean, yesterday for the listeners.
Yeah, yesterday. I hate doing something like this unannounced. If we do it, we got to start early.
Okay.
So I'm going to hang out with
We'll
Alex.
announce it on the forums or something like that.
All right, let's do it.
Well.
Jeez.
Well, if you're hanging out with Alex, then
I'll hang out with her later in the afternoon,
okay.
like 5, 6. So if we start at like
at 5 or 6, that would
be starting at 7.
11 hours.
Yeah. 11 hours from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. And then just missions?
Yeah.
So catch up your character tonight and then just do missions tomorrow?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it. 11 hours of 11 announced.
Yesterday.
For the people that aren't here on Twitch.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be vague about it till it gets to the review.
Yeah, the review, we will spoil the fuck.
We will, because otherwise we're not going to be able to talk about it fully. Now, we are going to give you more than 2 months, which is our usual amount, so be happy for that. That gives you extra time to do that.
Indeed. All right, great question, Batman. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. All right, so this one is from Cloud. It's titled Ideal Travel Party for Other Purposes. Ooh.
Okay.
An entire episode has been dedicated to the question of who the sexiest FF girl is.
And we were going to do one about the sexiest FF man, but...
Yeah, it just fell through for some reason.
Ah.
I now pose a slightly different challenge. You and 4 FF girls will be a party. That's a big party. It's old school. Which 3 would you pick? Wait, what? This allows you to select a diversity in case you like Quistis, but would also like a contrasting woman's personality instead of 2 more girls just like her. I don't know if there's anyone really just like Quistis, though. She seems like a different kind of character.
You're right.
Like,
she's kind of strong, but she's not.
She's not like leadership strong necessarily.
No, yeah, she has moments. I don't know. She's similar to Tifa in personality.
Yeah, I would say Tifa's probably the closest. She's not like the selfie,
No, she's not.
Irritating ones. Obviously, adapt the gender in this question appropriate for your sexual preference. Okay, that's good for you, Joe. What? All right, so if I was gonna have would work. You know what? That would actually be a decent option. You would never go hungry. Never with that thing.
Oh, that's a fucking good idea.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the original part with me and 4 FF girls, even though you said which 3 would you pick. I'm going to go 4. So I'm going to do Quinn as 1. For no other reason than the fact to just have a great, well-cooked meal every night. I would love that. I love food, and I'm going to have to eat. Because this is my Final Fantasy. It's not the Final Fantasy where you don't have to eat ever. It's the one where I am a person that needs sustenance to live. Okay, so Quinn. Tifa.
Gender neutral Quinn.
Gender neutral Quinn, yes. Tifa. For obvious reasons, her limit breaks are incredible.
That's right. Yeah.
Very talented.
Great fighter.
Very talented fighter. Who am I gonna go for 3? 3, I'd probably do Yuna from FF10. I think she's awesome. I think her healing and summoning power is great. It's a double class. I feel like I would enjoy her company very much.
FF10 or FF10-2? Sorry.
10.
Okay.
Yeah. The jobs in 10-2, I guess she'd be more versatile, but I would hate her, so I'd be reminded of 10-2 all day. So that's 3. And number 4, I'm going to go with Beatrix.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
right.
the Beatrix. Just
okay. Now, I'm sure our lists have adjusted since we did what was that, our 5th episode ever?
Yeah, it was a while ago. We were so wrong on some of them.
So, now I'm thinking, okay, which 4 Final Fantasy leading ladies would I like to hate me after a month? That's the real...
That's the Joe version of the question.
That's the real question. I am a pro at getting women to hate me twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just a fucking pro at it. And maybe you listeners know this. Since we've gotten a few complaints about, like, why don't we have a female host or something like that?
Because we don't have any that are here, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. No, so how many would I would need probably a strong woman in there to not, so that she can handle my bullshit.
So what, Beatrix maybe?
I'm thinking Ash.
Oh, Ash? Oh, yeah.
Ash.
She would whip you into shape.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I forgot about Fran. Oh, jeez. How could I forget about Fran?
How could you forget about Fran? Let's do Princess Ash.
Okay. Ash.
Let's do Lightning.
Lightning? Okay.
Yeah,
she would also be very commanding.
And Tifa.
All right, Tifa.
Of course.
You can't not have Tifa.
Let's have 3 strong ladies. Obviously, Tifa is the most sensitive out of all of them. She's the woman I can go to for my, for heartfelt talk.
Yeah, those emotional needs.
Those emotional, I don't have. The emotional needs. You think I have them, Schweiz?
Maybe more so than me.
And then we're such assholes, me and you. What the fuck? And then, 4th. I would want someone fun, but I wouldn't want selfie fun.
Yeah.
Maybe selfie in like 10 years, maybe like a 30-year-old selfie.
Or she's kind of chilled out a little bit.
Yeah.
Not so
30-year-olds shouldn't be taking selfies anyway, but...
No.
Right?
Yeah. It's worth half a laugh.
Yuna. That's number 4.
All right.
Yeah.
Solid choices.
Let's
Let's see what others said. Brandy said Cloud, Zidane, and Bartz. If you had to go with women, Tifa, Terra, and Lulu.
Okay.
Batman also chose Quina, Rosa, and Sarah. And then Skull Hottie said Tifa. All 3 renditions of Tifa. Tifa all day. Ooh, this one's cool. I'm not native, but your spiritual summon.
Okay.
From Jim Lee. I thought up this question listening to the Double Dragon review on Nude Clan. Apparently, Caleb Craig and Hogs are related, according to Cameron. And so, you might say, if Caleb could be a summon, he would be the ultimate Hog. So my question is, what would you consider your spiritual summon to be? You can choose an existing FF summon, a real-life animal, a Pokemon if you want, or something from mythology or made up. Consider your themed abilities as well.
My summon? I thought summon, and then I was thinking Bo Raichu. Oh, shit.
Well, what the fuck?
I fucked with the back of the mic again.
Oh.
The cord connection isn't that great. I was thinking Bo Raichu from Mortal Kombat, which is not a summon. So, Schweiss, what are you thinking for your spiritual summon?
If I were to be a summon in Final Fantasy, I would probably be... man. Jeez, this is tough. One that is based on my personality. Who would that be? Maybe Gilgamesh doesn't really count.
Do you see yourself as a Gilgamesh from FF12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over-hyping everything and just going for it. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gilgamesh.
All right,
that's good enough. Gilgamesh is close enough to a summon for me.
All right.
Cactar would be a good one, Stolas. That's a good point. I am prickly.
Cactar's good. Cactar's good. I don't know. I'm somewhere in between Bahamut Zero and Tomberry King.
Oh. I thought we were genuinely answering the question.
It's
Which one would you choose?
I'm just wondering, like, could I have the wrath? I could have the wrath of Bahamut Zero, or I can have kind of like the sleazy. I'm at home. I haven't showered in 4 days because I'm playing FF11, and then I got like a little knife. I'm gonna shank you for getting on my lawn or something like that.
Get off
I don't know. I'm somewhere between those two. I don't know how to answer this question.
All right, well, Stolas in the chat said Joe's Tomberry, so you can
Okay.
just accept that.
I'll just take the Tomberry King. Tomberry King.
All right, Matunica answers his wife would say he's a Snorlax, but he thinks his spirit animal is a sloth. Not sure if any FF summons really relate to him. After hearing your rant on Nude Clan, you would be Ifrit, causing hellfire everywhere. Brandy says Fat Chocobo. Nox Knight 88 says Leviathan would be my spiritual summon. Not only is he one of the more awesome summons in the game, but I have a love for the ocean. Being able to travel across the world in the ocean without fear of anything would be pretty sweet. Stola says probably Tonberry from FF7 or Ultros. Something ridiculous and kind of useless. Or Starlet / Lakshmi, just for the mental image. Batman says Batman, and Zubat. If I'm going with something from FF, he'd say Diablos. Yeah, that would fit. That looks kind of like Batman.
I think, Schweiss, I think you're a Diablos, and I think I'm an Ifrit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, because I like Ifrit more.
No, it's not you liking him more. It's your... I don't know. You look like Diablos.
Yeah?
I don't know. You
Need
just
like
point to your chin.
Need like an elongated chin,
Yeah.
but like a foot. Just turn into...
I don't know.
It's like a mix between...
I mean, it's exaggerated, but I definitely look more like Ifrit than you do.
Yeah, I guess, if Ifrit like let himself go for a little while. That would work. Alright.
Fuck you.
Skull 80 said, those who know Fenrir mythology know that's his only true option.
Okay. All right. So thank you for asking your questions, guys. Let us get... I think we've got one iTunes review that barely went through.
Yes, we
All
did,
right?
just in time.
All right.
iTunes reviews. iTunes reviews.
Yeah, so this one looks like it's submitted by somebody who's already given us a review, but it is a separate review. It's titled, Am I Too Late to Stop the Horror? A 5-star review by Hood F. GDOSNTBSHSB. Did you just type a capital letter and just mash the keyboard? I believe so. Skull Haiti here. Listen to this podcast. I've heard every episode now, and when I need more podcast material for my day, I go and listen to older episodes again. These guys have came a long way since they started. The audio quality is great.
I've come a long way since we've started.
Yeah, miles. The audio quality is great, so Caleb no longer sounds like he has the voice of McLovin. Joe doesn't say 117 times in an episode.
Oh.
And then, I don't know, dude, we do it more now. It's honestly
Don't
a radio...
fucking point it out. Shut up. Just keep
It's
going.
a radio trait, I'm telling you. And see right there. And their chemistry and composure under the microphone is fantastic. Give them a shot and you'll get hooked. Also, the community on their new and improved forums / website are great. They're a great bunch to talk to. Listen to them. I hope I'm not too late this week to stop the jingle. This may be my last chance. And then he drops the ultimate laugh. The ultimate. Okay.
You want to mention the tweet that you got?
Which tweet?
The tweet with that on it.
Oh, let me check it.
I believe someone tweeted James Arnold Taylor.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I asked James Arnold Taylor he was like doing this interview, and he's like, looks like I'm going to be late. Let's just do stuff here. And I was like, hey, what's your favorite line from FF10? And that's what he said. He said it was the laughing scene.
You
He
just
said,
put ha 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 ha.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. That was good.
That was pretty great.
Yeah, I've never had James Arnold Taylor reply to me. I have had Gideon Emery reply to me, though.
That's cool.
He's a little lesser known, but still awesome.
He doesn't have a studio in his own house, probably.
I don't think so, no. He does do a TV show, though. It's like Teen Wolf. I've never, ever watched it or wanted to, necessarily. So, And last week we had. Oh no, shit! We got to do the jingle for questions from us to you. How sloppy of me. We did have a few responses from it though, so let's dive into it. Alright, so last week, in the spirit of this Final Fantasy XI marathon that Joe and I are on, I asked, what is your favorite character in Final Fantasy XI? And why? Baindrum replies, the Zed. That guy is awesome, and the original gangster of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, he was a big force in the original missions for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, he was great. I thought he was pretty cool. We did have one more response here from Seka. It warmed my heart to hear your review of Chains of Armathia. I first got FF11 just after Chains of Armathia was released, so the game, as you've reviewed it so far, is the game I've played. I really hope you include at least Xylart in your overall ranking of FF11, because none of us played it as you did for your initial review. Still, hearing what you've said about the expansion has made me yearn for a game I spent a long time in. But to answer your question, my favorite NPC is one you haven't met yet. Lizette in Wings of the Goddess is the clear favorite, and she is awesome.
Is that the redheaded...
I believe it is, yeah. Lilizette, sorry. Lilizette, it is her, yes. But only because she's the hottest. She is pretty smoking, dude.
I know. Yeah, I know who he's talking about.
Yeah, oh man, she's got a phenomenal looking face in this game. It's weird. It's like, wow, she looks pretty.
She's like a half Asian girl with red eyes and red hair.
Yeah.
And a smoking body.
Oh yeah, she is toned. Alright, so he says, maybe I'm just that shallow. P.S. If you find yourselves with spare time in Whitegate, waiting on Japanese midnight, check out the quest 3 Men and a Closet. I remember it being the funniest quest in the game. That sounds
we're gonna have to try it, I think.
Yeah.
We gotta write that down and make sure we get to that before the end of the game.
Yes.
Okay, well thank you for your responses, guys.
I really appreciate it.
This week's question from us to you. What are you gonna do to celebrate Final Fantasy 15? Are you gonna have a Final Fantasy 15 party? Are you just gonna order it from Amazon and enjoy yourself at home? Are you going to go to a midnight release? I want to know what you guys are going to do special when Final Fantasy 15 actually comes out.
Okay,
depending on whether or not it's the 30th or the 29th of November.
Right.
So I just want to know, let me know, what are your plans? I'm interested in hearing about it. All right? So... Schweiss, I think that's going to be it for this episode.
Yeah, guys, make sure to go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. All the episodes in a lesser quality form. And also a ton of gameplay footage. So if you're interested in one of the games that we've played since FF11, it's all on there.
Yeah.
Go to Twitter and tweet me and sort of the show at UFF Podcast.
You tweet me at Joseph Dugallier.
You can go like our... follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy. Why are there so many different words for follow, like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah?
It's
irritating, because subscribe on Twitch means pay us, but we can't do that because we're gimps. But subscribe on YouTube just means you'll get updates. But like us on Facebook and then follow us on Twitter,
There's a song by a dude I follow on YouTube that's just called Follow... I think it's just called Follow Me or something like that. And it's like a weird metal techno song about follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on... Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I gotta check that out.
We'll just have to have it as our final...
Yeah.
Our final show. Our final jingle or something like
Farewell.
that. You can support the show, by the way, going to ultimafinalfantasy.com, and on the side there you're going to see our link to our Patreon page. $1 a month gives you the episode as soon as we're done mixing them. You'll also see our Amazon link, which you can bookmark and just buy products. It doesn't cost you a penny. and we get a little kickback from things that you buy on Amazon through that link.
Yeah, that's been working out great so far.
So if you don't want to be like, well, I don't really have the money to do this, but every once in a while I buy a school textbook or something like that, it'd be great if you could bookmark us on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then of course there's a PayPal link if you wish to do a direct donation. So there's many ways to support the shows, and we really appreciate it, guys. We have not missed a fucking episode.
Yeah, we've pre-recorded. We kind of, in the beginning, we had different recording days as well. But it's
we've
been
never
weekly.
missed a week.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. 2 years and
Just for you guys.
2 years and
Think
3
about that.
months.
Think about that. Anyway, if you want to give us a support, we'll really appreciate it. Check out our other shows, Nude Clan, our gaming podcast. That's Nude, N-U-D-E, Clan. 2 words. You can find us on iTunes, or you can find us on Android, wherever the heck you get it, wherever you get your podcasts at. We also have a couple other shows. Schweiss, you got Super Sexy.
Yeah, it's great. We continue the show that Joe didn't want to be in anymore. And I think it's great now. It's a drop-heavy, fucking just gross show, and it's hilarious. We have a lot of fun with it. We also have Joe and Drew reviewing all the Godzilla movies.
Yes.
In all of their glory.
Oh, fuck you. They're great. Love the Godzilla movies, and if you love the Godzilla movies too, or if you're even like mildly interested in kaiju films, which are giant monster films from Japan, then you can go check out the Godzilla podcast.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that all our shows right now?
Yeah, that's everything we got.
Okay. All
so
right.
far.
All right. Oh, and guys, our websites now have our own personal blogs on them. So if you go to ultimafinalfantasy.com, if you go under About the Hosts, both me and Schweiss have blogs that we're continually updating, so you can check them out. I got all my shitty short films from high school up till almost now. I'm still updating my site, but it should have pretty much everything on there that I've ever done.
Yeah, so if you want to hear our thoughts on stuff, go check it out. It's good. I think it's a lot of fun.
All right, Schweiss. Well, that's going to be it for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in with us.
Yes. Enjoy the grind.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Caleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.
Alright guys, well thanks for hanging out with us on the Twitch stream. Glad to get some love for the Godzilla podcast.
Thank
At
you.
least one person. Luke Daba, thanks a lot. Yeah, we will see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Not next week.
Tomorrow, we're going to be streaming FF11. No, we're recording in the same room. We just have 2 different things so that we can actually have a decent viewing experience. We like the way the 2 webcams look together. It's a lot easier. Plus, I don't know if we can figure out how to fucking do it otherwise. We could do Skype and then pull the window in from that.
Whenever there's always your webcam always like it favors one person over the other depending on where someone's sitting and depending on how the light.
Yeah, so one of us will look like shit most of the time.
And yeah, usually it's me. And so I just wanted to have the camera in a better spot because I always always leaned in this way, and so like I was always looking like a fat fuck, which everybody looks like with a low angle, and you're on turned to the side. So I was trying to get some of my beautiful face in the shot, so I got a separate webcam in order to stream it this way. So
yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. We're going to be doing a big Final Fantasy 11 marathon tomorrow. You still down for that?
you betcha.
We're going to start early, 7 a.m. our time, so that I can get done and enjoy the rest of my day.
Only going to play Wings of the Goddess.
Yeah. I think in 11 hours, dude, we could do a lot of that expansion. I'm hoping...
Yeah, let's take notes this
A
time for
lot.
the story. I want to talk about, because I I had the Wikia page pulled up when I was doing the story, and I honestly don't know. I thought it ended with the pirate thing, and I was
No, yeah, there's a whole section
there's a whole
afterward
section after. Thank
where
you
the
for
vizier
remembering
is
that.
trying to overthrow Nashmeria. And,
It's the worst mistake I've ever made.
yeah,
This entire podcast.
probably.
But you saved the day. Way to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I found that muting everybody during the cutscenes helps a lot. So you
It
can
helps
pay
a lot so
attention.
you can pay attention.
Yeah, because Bainjum and Krenital are chatty motherfuckers, so you gotta kind of cut them off.
Well, Krenital's not chatty once he gets to his cutscene. It's me and Bandrum that are pretty chatty.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So
Guys kill me.
that's not a bad idea. I think I'll try to do that some more.
Either that or we
About it.
just have like a rule. Okay, I'm in a cutscene and like everyone just doesn't talk. We'll try, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Well, I remember with Rise, it wasn't Rise of the Xylark, but with the original ones, like sometimes we do the voice acting for the cutscenes, voice acting.
Yeah.
And it was helpful for remembering the story more for those ones because it was like, oh, we're actually reading them, we're giving them time. It does take twice as long when you do it that way.
True.
But you do remember it better. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking
a good
maybe we
point.
should do that or something like that. I don't know.
Well, we'll figure something out. But yeah, come hang out with us then, guys. It'll be one hell of a grind, and we look forward to seeing each and every one of you, and hopefully a couple others during our Final Fantasy XI marathon tomorrow. And we will see you guys bright and early.
Peace out.